Hi, welcome back to our vegan kitchen. I've got some advice. I'm gonna say this is not advice. This is just how I make it through the holidays. Plus, it's gonna be like a little bake and chat. So, and I don't mean, I mean, we're gonna make some cookies. So these are my favorite cookies to make right now. Maddie absolutely craves these cookies.
Yes, they're so good.
So these are not only vegan, they're whole food and gluten-free. So I mean, how much better can you do than that?
Not much.
So I'm gonna start off, you're gonna have to come over here. We're gonna talk about surviving the holidays. So let's come over here and start grinding our oat flour. So the holidays can be pretty stressful. I got a broken dishwasher right now.
Yeah, we got a sink full of dishes.
My dog just had surgery. The other one just came from the vet today. That was like a trip.
She's good. It was just expensive.
It's like when it rains, it pours. There's always something that comes up. My husband just got boosted. I'm getting boosted on Monday. I need to take a breath. That was a big sigh because it's a lot. So why not just simplify your life? First of all,
we need to change the battery.
Okay.
Okay, now we can get into it.
Alright, so first of all, I would not start a diet right now. It's almost the holidays. You're gonna feel deprived. And that's bad juju around Christmas time. You don't want that because that's gonna make you hate diets. So I would do what I call a diet light. I would make small changes, like if you know you got a problem with desserts, why don't you just like give up desserts until Christmas, but then just like eat like you normally do. You know, just make small changes. If you drink soda, that's the devil. I'm sorry. You should just like quit soda and have that be like your lead up to Christmas. And then after you have a nice time at Christmas, then you can go on a diet and start things off right, because then you'll have a lot of time to concentrate on getting healthy. And when I say diet, I don't mean you're going to be some skinny mini. I mean you're going to lose some weight so that you can be healthy, a healthier version of you. Because I'm not about fat shaming. I don't do that. But, and I totally forgot how much of this I already put in. But it doesn't matter.
That was the third one.
Okay. It doesn't matter anyway because this is all by eye. So we just put in 2 cups of quick oats. You can use any kind of oats you want because they're going to get ground up. It doesn't really matter. And this is my secret ingredient. I like toasted sunflower seeds in here. And I never measure. I just say, you know what? That looks like a half a cup. And that's going to give a nice toasty flavor to the cookies. It's going to be the salty sweet because they're a little bit salted. You don't have to use salted if you're on a low sodium situation. I hesitate to call things diet, but I mean, it's ingrained in me from the time when I was a little kid. But let's talk about the holidays. How am I going to make it through the holidays and not put 5 pounds on here and 5 pounds on here? Because let's face it, the foods are delicious looking and tempting, and there's a lot of food around, and there's a lot of stress, and I'm an emotional eater, and I don't know if you are, but I sure am. So the way that I get through the holidays is I make sure that I never feel deprived, that I never feel hungry, that I don't go to bed hungry, that I always make sure I have a big meal. And the way that I get away with maintaining my weight and having a big meal is eating low calorie density. So I will load up on the veggies, and then I'm not going to do the no oil, no sugar, no salt during the holidays. I feel like it's difficult and things are stressful enough. So instead of just running wild with the sugar and the oil and the salt, and the sugar and the oil and the salt, it's like a song for the holidays. But what I will do is just have about 1/10 of what I would have. Like throughout the year, I like to have an Impossible Burger once a week, at least. So if you look at the stats on it, it's really not that bad. Yes, it has a little bit more oil than you want to use, but if you you're not going to eat it every night. If you eat it once a week or once every 2 weeks, that could be your guilty pleasure. So if you are doing the low calorie density thing most of the time, I think it really takes care of itself. And you got to make sure, though, veggies got to be at least half of what you eat, and you really shouldn't have a problem. So these cookies are so delish that I actually prefer these to like Oreos, like gluten-free Oreos. Or eating this way has really left me with a taste for less sugar, and I find like when I eat the Oreos now, they just don't taste right. They just taste too sweet. You know what I mean? It kind of makes me feel a little nauseous with all that sugar. So this is, I'm going to caution you guys, this is a working food processor. It's busted because it gets a workout. I use it all the time. So you can see it doesn't turn on unless I jury rig it a little bit. So I'm going to press this down, and I'm just going to grind this up with the sunflower seeds for maybe a minute. Alright, so that wasn't even a minute. That was like 30 seconds. And it's nice and fine. You don't want to make it too fine. But that brings me to the dates. Ooh. These are beautiful Medjool dates. You know, the full-size juicy ones. There's about 15 of them in here. If you only get the deglet dates, or I think that's how you say it. They're in the supermarket, like in the nuts and seeds area. They're tinier. I would use probably 25 of those. They're already pitted usually, so you just count out 25 of those. Again, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't have to be exact. So I'm going to pile them in here. I'm also going to use some of this vanilla bean paste. But if this is optional, you can use this, or you could use the extract, or if you have the powder. This one's pretty good. I like it. So we're putting that in. Alright, so that brings me to my next, how am I going to survive the holidays? Eating with other people. We're in a very fortunate time right now because a lot of people are very open about their struggles with food. I just saw something on Vanderpump Rules like last week where one of the girls was like, I have issues with food, and you never would have heard anything like that in the past. And it made me feel so good because I hate not talking about stuff like that. And I struggle myself with food issues. So it's good to know that you're not alone in your struggle with food issues. So don't be afraid to say, guys, I got a problem with food. Let's talk about it so I feel more comfortable eating at your house. Or, it shouldn't be shameful. It's something that's part of you, and I think it should be shared. So when I go to somebody's house, especially during the holidays, I don't expect them to cook special for me because I have so many dietary issues. I'm gluten-free, I'm vegan, I try and eat whole foods. So most of the people that I'm related to and know are not any of those things. So I use that as an opportunity to make something that everybody can enjoy, especially me. So then I'm not the only vegan in the village that's sitting there eating the special food. It's something that everybody's going to enjoy, and they usually do try it out, and they like it. At least they tell me they do. But my point is, don't just show up with like a bowl of green beans or something. Make something, multiple items that you're going to be satisfied with. Make a side, make a main, or a salad even. And don't forget about dessert, because there's not going to be anything for you to eat during dessert, and you're not going to want to sit there when everybody else is chowing down with nothing to eat. So make something that's going to satisfy you and that you can share with other people and not feel weird about eating in front of other people. I think that's a big thing. I don't like feeling weird about food in front of other people. So just let them know, hey, I'd love for you to try this. I made it. I think it tastes pretty good. Tell me what you think, and then we all can enjoy it together. And these cookies are great. I made these for my mom a couple of weeks ago, unbeknownst to me, she was rationing them because they were so good. She didn't want to devour them all at once. And she's been talking about it ever since. And they're so simple. They're so simple. So right now we're going to chop up the dates so that these get incorporated a little bit before we add our wet ingredients. And if your dates are too hard, just put a quarter cup of water in a dish and like heat them up in the microwave. Or if you don't like using the microwave, just pour a little bit of boiling water over it and let it sit for a while, and they'll soften up considerably. So let's see if these will mix. Will it mix? Yes, it will. All right, so those have started to mix up pretty nicely. Ooh. And it makes a big mess, but that's okay. That's what dish towels are for. All right, so this is a recent addition. I've started adding a little bit of creamy natural peanut butter. This is organic too. Wow, I'm fancy. So I'm going to put about a quarter of a cup of peanut butter in here. And I feel like this gives such a nice peanutty flavor. If you're not into peanuts, go for almond butter or even some sesame butter if you're allergic to any of those things. Or you could leave it out totally and just add a little bit of milk for the, wet part. I'm going to start off with a couple of splashes of oat milk here, but you can use any non-dairy milk that you want. You could use soy, you could use a nut milk. I use oat milk because this is what my stomach likes. So we're going to give this a little mix and see where we're at. Alright, so you can see that it's starting to come together. That might actually be pretty darn perfect. I'm just going to give it a little bit. I think we're done with the wet ingredients, so I'm going to give it a more thorough mix so that the dates break down a little bit more, and then we'll be ready to make them into cookies. Alright, so you can tell when it's ready, when it starts to like reduce a little bit and almost turn into a ball when you're mixing it. So I like to just empty this into a bowl because I don't like reaching in there with the blade.
Good call.
It makes me a little nervous, right? So it's much easier here. And we're just gonna, it's not that sticky. I mean, it's a little bit sticky, but you don't have to wet your hands or anything. You can use a cookie scoop. So I just like to roll maybe a tablespoon and a half size ball and then flatten it out a bit. And that's our cookie. So, oh, can you smell it already?
I do smell it, especially the peanut butter.
The peanut butter is so strong and wonderful. And these are like, I would think, biscuits. Like the English type biscuits, because they're not very sweet. They're like the perfect after dinner situation. And they're really simple. You can get the kids involved, get them to roll these out. Maybe if you even had a cookie cutter, you could roll it out a little bit, make a fun shape or something. That would be nice for them to eat. Or especially for the holidays, you can make like a star or something. I'm too lazy to dig out my cookie cutters.
Maybe another time.
I don't have any little kids, but maybe if I get a grandchild one day, I can have fun with them. Making these cookies, I don't know. Just saying. Let's roll them over.
Yeah, we'll check back in when it's time for the oven. Yeah. Looking good.
All right. Thank you. First of all. Second of all, if you wanted to make these more holiday-ish, if you added a little pumpkin pie spice, it would totally taste like a gingerbread ball. There's that. You don't even have to cook these. You can eat. These are straight up Larabars.
Yeah.
You know, because nothing in here needs to be cooked. So you could totally make these into Larabar shapes, wrap them up, keep them in the fridge in an airtight container. But we're going to bake these because I like them a little bit crispy. So also, they don't spread, so you can put them as close as you want to each other and any shape that you want. I even made some little bar ones here. So we're going to pop these in at 350 for 15 minutes, and we're going to flip at 8 minutes. Bye. All right, there they are. Beautiful. With a nice oat milk latte. It's
looks
so
really good.
It's so nice since we fixed the white balance.
Yes. I think we were looking a little washed out earlier.
Not washed out, not right now.
But good.
I'm gonna try a little one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a little one too, just because I'm going to dinner in a little bit, so I don't want to eat too much pre-dinner. But the whole house smells so amazing right now because of these cookies. Still warm.
Really good.
So delicious and so easy.
I would say you could substitute sesame seeds for the sunflower seeds as well. That would be a nice toasty flavor.
Oh my god, these are just so good. Definitely having these for dessert later.
Or if you're not a fan of peanut butter, you could also put tahini instead of the peanut butter.
You could.
There's a lot of options here.
Definitely.
All winners.
Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. We hope your holidays are stress-free and delicious.
I would like to say, if you guys have got any tips that you follow to stay sane and healthy during the holidays, leave them in the comments below. Because I'm always open for more tips.
Absolutely. So, thank you all again so much for watching.
She's going to eat this whole thing as soon as I turn the camera off.
Yes. She's going to turn on the switch and we'll see you all next time. And until then, much love.